March 10th here in southern Ontario, Canada. I want to sort of expand upon the last video a little bit, although it goes off in a slightly different vein. In the last video, I was talking about the horns of the dilemma that face the Canadian voter. Now, Maxime Bernier apparently is friends with Leslyn Lewis, Dr. Leslyn Lewis. She's the black woman, Conservative Party member. I think she's from Toronto. I think if Poilievre hadn't been running for the head of the Conservative Party, last time, I'll say a year ago or whatever, I think she would have won it. Now, what I like about Leslyn Lewis is she's very outspoken against the WEF and their obvious interference here in Canada, and researches them and has made videos and talked about this and so on and so forth. So I really like that about her. Whereas Poilievre has said, riding the populist wave, I won't let any members of my caucus be members of the WEF. That's all he says. He doesn't say, we need to get them out of our country. So that's why I prefer Leslyn Lewis to Poilievre. However, that said, if Max, it's been rumored, maybe it's more than a rumor, that he's tried to poach Leslyn Lewis from the Conservatives to come and join him. I wish that would happen, and there's a lot of other Conservatives I'd like to see just bail out of the Conservatives, because they're not Conservatives anymore. They're liberal, not even so light. Excuse me. Some names that come to mind, and probably each and every one of them, somebody's going to put in the comments why they don't like them. Please do. Let me hear your opinion. I'm not saying they're all as pure as the driven snow. I can't be everywhere. My research resources are very limited. But Larry Brock, that bulldog with the bald head, Dane, what's his name? Dane. Larry Mark Dane. Anyways, his name's Dane. Raquel Dancho, Cheryl Gallant. There are some others, but let's say a half a dozen of those high-profile, and I'll say hardcore Conservatives, in the sense they're on their committees and they're plugging away and all the time fighting the bills, C-21, C-11, C-18, etc. They're outspoken, I'll say aggressive parliamentarians. If a half a dozen of those high profile, I'll say, again, Conservatives, were to bail out and join Maxime Bernier, then he'd have a recognizable team, and I think he would sweep the elections at that point. Because one of the biggest things working against Max is his party. Can you name one? I can't. They're all unknowns. In the last election, in my local riding here, where I vote, there was no candidate. Well, there was by the time the voting came, polling, but initially there wasn't. I mean, they kind of advertised, Max said, and it wasn't just limited to this riding, they don't have members all over the place. So pretty well all across the country, each and every member in each riding were unknowns. I mean, in the last election, I considered, well, not seriously, of course, I'd be their face, their PPC member here in the riding, because they didn't have one. Again, they did at the end. So anyways, that's my point. I think that that's really what I would like to see happen in Canadian politics, is a bunch of, again, high-profile, strong, and hopefully honest Conservatives go join Max and give him a recognizable team. Let me know what you think in the comments.